Sunday, the 10th of March, and it is the first Sunday of Lent, and yeah, pretty great Angelus prayer by Pope Francis today, I must say. It was really inspiring. It's talking about the desert trials, Jesus's desert trials, and jeez. Anyway, yeah. So he was talking about the. This is perfect as I'm lighting my cigarette. He was talking about the three temptations that the devil was presenting to Jesus, and it's the perfect metaphor, I think, for life if you're gonna actually live it truly according to principles such as the ones that Jesus practiced and taught, or also the Buddha practiced and taught, which are basically principles of renunciation of, for the most part, earthly goods and acknowledgments, shall I say, such as fame or fame or money, or those kinds of things that become a little bit like drugs, and people become addicted to them and slave to them, to where everything revolves around satisfying the need. It's pretty funny that I'm smoking as I'm talking about this, but everything becomes about fulfilling one's desires with ultimately sort of blindsided drive, and being blinded by it to where you can't even see anymore that perhaps not everything, if anything at all, matters outside of what you think ought to matter. Becomes a problem. Can be a problem bigger than one could even imagine. But on the other hand, if you aren't driven by those things, then you have a chance at actual freedom. The freedom is not in what we try to hold on to. The freedom is in what we can let go of and sort of strip away, because then you don't need anything. And when you don't need anything, you become somewhat untouchable. You can't be bought. You can't be coerced. Um, and you can't be punished inwardly. Possibly, obviously, I mean, you can be punished outwardly, but if you keep your if you keep things simple, everything becomes a lot more simple. Wow, deep. Anyway, yeah. I think there's great freedom in not giving a shit about stuff. I really think so. It's like I couldn't care less about stuff. Doesn't do a thing for me. I get offended. I get so offended when people think that I do. It's amazing. It's like, yeah, no, thank you. It's quite all right. Yeah. It makes it easier if, depending on your natural tendencies, if you already have, a tendency of not really caring about the the sort of madness of the world. Yeah, then whatever. Whatever. That's not to say that it does eliminate all worries. That, of course, is not the case, or you'd still be worried. But, that's where you just kind of go, yeah, you know what? Trust in God. That's what I do. Very Lent-like of me. The desert trials. As I'm sitting here in comfort and not in the desert. Yeah. What can I say? One thing, I think one thing that's pretty it's pretty hard to let go of, I think, is completely giving up on what happens to one's person, or other people that one might love. That is a different story, I think, and I don't think that fits in exactly with the temptations as far as being tempted is concerned, hopefully. But it's definitely something that other people can use, and they do. And that's not so good, I think, personally. Not so good. How did I get there? Oh, the desert trials. Right. Right. I suppose one could say that then that is the actual sort of whatever comes at you if you're there in the desert. Great scene in the movie The Last Temptation of Christ, It's beautifully done. Is the desert scene actually where all these different the manifestations of the devil try to enter into the circle that Jesus has drawn in the sand around himself, and I think that's beautiful. It's also kind of a beautiful thing because it's sort of a nod at Zen circle and the state of mind that represents, to sort of the state of mind that helps being confronted with these temptations. It's beautiful. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in any kind of movie. I find it tremendously inspiring and helpful. So, yeah. Anyway, as usual, discombobulated ramblings to the ether on this beautiful Sunday.
FaceTime video.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. I hope everybody has a great Sunday.